Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
Basically.
Can you guys hear me? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I've Got Gameplay. And I'm not Michael Burhan because unfortunately he's going to be fashionably late, but he is going to be on the show, so I'm going to be co-hosting or hosting it for right now. But I am not alone because I am also joined with the great styling, profiling, dumpster diving man himself, Zach LaCour from Getting Your Nerd On. What's up, Zach? Zach, are you there? Well, I don't hear Zach, but I can hear remnants from another dimension coming through, so none other than Jamie's on right now. What's up, Jamie?
Hello. Sorry I haven't been on the past, 2 weeks? And we had a busy 2 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't been on myself a whole lot. Yeah, I've been really busy from playing with shows and work and everything. So yeah, and I wasn't on last week. I'm on this week. So I mean, it's always good. It's always like coming back to a very familiar place. So
right, like I missed everyone. I really miss my IGG family.
Definitely. Well, like I said, I don't know. I can't. I know Zach was here earlier, but I don't hear him now. I don't know what happened. But okay, well maybe I think he just dropped out, but he might be coming back in. But yeah, we also have Zach from Getting Your Nerd on tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking. The main subject is going to be about. I mean, we're pretty much going to be venting. We're pretty much going to be talking about some of the things that's been pissing us off lately with gaming. And,
oh, good.
Oh, yeah. So lots of needed frustration will be coming out with this episode. But anyway, we're going to be starting first with some gaming news. Now, I got a little bit of gaming news, but Jamie, I want to hand the helm to you just in case you got something you want to talk about.
All right. Well, as a big Resident Evil fan, I've been keeping up with that lately. It seems that the Resident Evil remake is up for an HD remaster next year.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about that, though the only thing I wish is that they would actually redo the voices as well, because the remake voices were just as bad as the originals.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, though, because sometimes I don't like it when they remaster a game and they change the voice acting, because you get so used to that dialogue and the way it's said that it just feels weird. Like, a great example would be Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles for the PSP. They had a remake of on it, and they completely changed the voice acting. So when you started out, Richter wasn't like, "Die, monster! You do not belong in this world." It was more like, "The world is done with you, monster, Dracula, blah, blah, blah." It sounded better, but it lost some of that charm to it, so...
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying change the dialogue, just for the love of God, just get some voice actors. And not people who are just like, "No, don't go. Where's Captain Wesker?"
Yeah.
Good Lord. Really?
Yeah, we got some background noise right now. I apologize for that. Unfortunately, Skype's instant messenger isn't on, so I can't send the person the message and say to mute their mic. So we just got some ambience background. Just think of it that way. We're in a... But hey, Zach, are you back?
Yeah.
Are you back for the Zach attack? What's up, man?
No, not much. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. It's been very, very crazy today. But did you have any gaming news that you wanted to talk about?
Let me see. What was I looking at? Well, yeah. One of the things I've been watching is I think it's recently. It's this guy found this coin in Mario 64 that was seen to be like impossible to get. I was watching a video about it before. It was like in a wall.
Oh, wow.
And there's a video online of him getting it. I just think it's pretty cool that people still, look through old games to find everything.
Right.
Yeah. It's really weird how, games, 20 years from now, we can still find secrets.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's really says something about some of the development and everything that we have in games, definitely. Some of the gaming news that I had was a very, very big thing, and it's funny because, the big thing in the media is, like, they're always talking about how Nintendo's losing money, Nintendo's doomed, it's going out of business, blah, 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 and that's just all, clickbait, because right now they just mentioned that Microsoft, with the Xbox One product, they've lost $400 million.
Ooh.
They are down $400 million right now. And I mean, like, that's... I know it's Microsoft, and Microsoft, they're swimming in money. That's still a good amount of money that's, not with the system right now. And a lot of it, was some of the development of the Kinect and, stuff like that. And the Kinect really isn't selling the way they want it to. Now you can get an Xbox One without a Kinect, which I'm kind of happy with that. And they dropped the price. It kind of makes me want to get one now. I still want to get a PS4 before I get an Xbox One, though, because I got a Wii U, so...
Right.
But what did you guys think about that? Like, what did you guys think about the loss of Microsoft right now?
God, that sucks. That is... I can't even even fathom losing that much money on something.
Well,
yeah.
I always talk about how they made a lot of stupid moves, especially this console generation. So, you talk about them releasing the version of the Xbox One without the Kinect. That should have been an option from the beginning.
Right.
I hate when people try to force shit on you that you don't want. And even if it was like, if they're trying to force something on you and it's like it doesn't cost any extra money, I guess that's one thing. But the fact that it was $100 extra for this thing that people don't even want, it's stupid. There was no alternative. But they just had some new guy take over, and you can already see things changing already with the bundle, minus the Kinect. So, they lost a ton of money, but and I willingly, knowing like how much I dislike Xbox branding, especially this console generation. Honestly, they deserve it. I enjoy the PS4 a ton, and I haven't played the Xbox One, and I probably never will. But it has no appeal to me.
Yeah, like it or hate it, I don't want any of the consoles to go out because I want that competition. Because a lot of people, they're fanboys and they stick with one sort of console or one sort of brand all the time, and they kind of wish ill words towards the other consoles. But the problem is that these consoles, if you only have one, then the competition's not going to be there, and it's pretty much going to be a monopolized market, and they can put whatever price they want because that they have no one that's going to be competing against them. So I don't want anything to happen to Sony, Microsoft, or of course Nintendo. I don't want anything to happen to those, but I really hope that a lot of these companies, because it's not just Microsoft, it's not just Nintendo, Sony as well. I hope they really pick up and make some better decisions because all three of them are not doing too great right now. In the big picture, they all had their faults. Sony has been losing a lot of money, not with the PS4, but with the actual Sony brand. And a lot of people, they look at that and they're like, oh, well, the PS4 is doing fine, so who cares? Well, the thing is, the brand starts failing, then all the other branches of that brand is going to start closing down. So I'm not saying that PS4 is going to be going out of business. I don't see that happening. But and I just don't want to see Sony bail out of the next generation that we see years from now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You mean Microsoft?
Microsoft or Sony, because Sony's
yeah.
not doing too good either. So because I know Sony's closed down some of their branches in Japan, and that's not a good sign. And right now, what's really funny is Japan is such a interesting market in the sense that the PS3 is outselling the PS4. And, and the thing is, they're still making PS3 games. And I know that's one thing I did like about Sony, is Sony would continue to make games for their older consoles for a couple of years. PS2 had a Final Fantasy XI expansion come out in 2013. And that's really crazy. They would do something like that with the PS2. So, but the only thing is with the economy, especially in Japan, not doing the best in the world, would you guys agree that would almost be an Achilles heel?
I don't know. I like it when they release the games for the older consoles, simply because it seems like they're not forcing you to buy a new one when you don't have the money to do so.
Yeah, but so one thing that so if they made the PS3 and PS4 backwards compatible, they could keep making games, for a while, because there's a lot of PS2 RPGs that kick ass, and they could do a lot of things with those series and stuff like that. I think, okay, so you look at the original Xbox, and Microsoft stopped supporting that in 2006 or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They should have supported it much longer. But it's bullshit. When people make one new console and they completely ignore the last one. A lot of times all you get is sports games, and those are the last ones to ride out, a console's life. But I personally stay one generation behind on everything. So I never buy new stuff, and I PS4, even though I like playing like Kyla's, I have no interest of having my own. But I am interested in getting a PS3 because the games are a lot cheaper, because they're old now, and there's really a ton of games out there. Plus, if you get the right PS3, you can play PS2 games, and you can play PS1 games on them. So I understand why people are staying a console generation behind. I started doing that right after the Xbox, and I never went back to staying current with anything.
Yeah, I got my Xbox 360 in 2010. So by the time I got my 360, like all the games I wanted to play were a lot older, and they were dirt cheap, and that's the reason why I have over 60 360 games, because I bought it so late in the generation that the games I really want to play, maybe Fable 2 or Halo 3, stuff, and Oblivion. I mean, those games were just pennies on a dollar. And that is what's really, really good about waiting out and not rushing and buying the new generation. Because, I mean, right now, there's nothing for the PS4 or the Xbox One that's making me be like, oh, shit, I need to drop money on it right now. I mean, there's some games I want to play, and there's some games in the future, especially 2015. 2015 looks like it's going to be a great year for all the consoles. But, yeah, I don't know. And I think we have another person on here. Let's see. Travis, are you here? Thought I saw Travis's name pulling up on Skype.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's the ghost of Travis. I don't know. No. Skype ghost, not the
Oh
real.
no, that would be horrifying.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. It's just it's really interesting the whole thing, and I mean like I said, all the consoles are having faults right now. I don't agree with the PS Now. Have you guys been reading up on that? The whole PS Now?
No, I haven't. I saw a few little articles about it, but I didn't get a chance to read them. What's all that about?
It's pretty much a streaming rental service for PlayStation, where you pay. I'm not sure how much you pay a month for the subscription, but you rent the games. But the thing is the prices are just insane. You can pay for a month to 4 hours of gameplay, and in the long run, when you do the math, you're actually spending a lot more than some of the games are worth. Like Final Fantasy 13, think about it. You can get Final Fantasy 13 for $4.99, or actually no, for $2.99 for 4 hours of gameplay. And that's an RPG. RPGs,
right.
Especially now, the first hour is going to be nothing but cutscenes.
I was gonna say 4 hours of 4 hours of RPG play. You're barely gonna get to the tutorial.
Yeah, so I mean that's really interesting, and I really wish they wouldn't do that. And we were mentioning about backwards capability. I really wish they had the PS4 backwards compatible with the PS3, and a lot of people say the reason why they didn't is because it kept the price down for the PlayStation 4, and they were and then some people said Sony said it was completely impossible. Well, here's the thing. This is something else I heard about PS Now that really grinds my gears. Someone told me that they heard, because PS Now is still in beta, they heard that you can get a PS3 game, the disc. You can put it inside the PS4, and if you have a PS Now account, then it will read the serial number, and you can stream it off the PS4. Now, on paper, you're thinking, hey, that sounds pretty cool. I can play some PS3 games on PS4. But look at it this way. You're paying for a subscription and buying games or playing games you already own to play on a console. To me, that doesn't seem right.
I'd agree with you there.
That just seems really weird, and I don't agree with PS Now. I don't agree with the HD remasters they're doing. The Resident Evil remaster, I think is an awesome idea. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope we get a physical release, and I think the Resident Evil remaster that's coming out, I think it's kind of a guinea pig for Capcom, because they knew that Resident Evil 6 didn't sell too well, and they haven't released anything about Resident Evil 7. So I'm thinking maybe, with this rehash of Resident Evil, maybe this will give Capcom a little bit more motivation to put out a more classic style Resident Evil, or better yet, maybe they're on the path of maybe remaking Resident Evil 2 remastered,
Right. That's what we're thinking. Though we have in fact heard some things about Resident Evil 7. We know that they're actually making it. It is in the works. It's been confirmed. There has been leaked things, like there was a leaked picture of Wesker and Chris's motion capture actors that was leaked and then deleted from every source. We don't know if, also there was a leaked photo of a script from Capcom that was for Enhanced Veronica. It was from the site, and so, but that was deleted too. That was automatically, immediately deleted from every source. So we have at least two things to go off of. They could be doing Resident Evil 7 itself has been confirmed, but they could also be doing an Enhanced Veronica game, or maybe Resident Evil 7 isn't necessarily the one after 6. Maybe it's something else. Yeah,
because they've done that in the past. Jump from different areas. I mean, it's really interesting because I was watching a kind of like a little documentary thing on YouTube, and they were talking about Resident Evil 3 and Code Veronica. And Code Veronica was actually supposed to be the real Resident Evil 3, where Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be a side story. But the reason why they changed it is because of Resident Evil and Capcom had all these agreements with Sony. And Sony wasn't too happy that they were putting out a brand new Resident Evil on the Dreamcast and not putting out anything for Sony other than a side game. So they just did a name switch, pretty much. So I mean, it's really interesting. I'm really looking forward to it because I love the survival horror genre. I'm really looking forward to The Evil Within. Oh, me too. That game looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's by, the original creator of Resident Evil. Right. So yeah, I mean, in due time, we might be able to see what it's all about. But, remasters like those, I understand. Especially, that game hasn't been out in, 13 years. It's been 13 years since the GameCube Resident Evil came out. But, what I don't agree with is the remasters they're doing with PlayStation 3 games onto PlayStation 4, because in my line, like The Last of Us, now Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is now confirmed as going to be coming out as a remaster, and they've even talked about the Uncharted series. And the thing is I've talked to some people, and some people are like, it's not Sony's fault, it's the developers. And I'm like, that's not right. That logic makes no sense. It is Sony's fault because they're the ones that sign the checks to the developers. It's not like, the developers are hijacking dev kits for the PlayStation 4 and they're putting out all these black market PS4 games and Sony doesn't even know what's going on. They know what's going on. Oh, yeah. And to me, it's a slap in the face because what we were mentioning earlier, we would love to see backwards capability with the PS3 and the PS4, but instead we're not getting that, and we're getting a rental service with PS Now, and we're getting all these remasters. So that's the one thing I'm not too happy about, Yeah,
I can understand completely. They're making no money on PS2 and PS1 games anymore. So, they can make money on PS3 stuff because people are still buying it new, and they can make money on PS4 stuff. So it's they can make it backwards compatible, but there's really no money there because, they should be doing it just out of fan service because the PS2 backwards compatibility was amazing, and the original PS3 one was too. But it's okay, well, we can put this in there where it costs us more money to do this, so people are going to be playing games that they've already bought that we don't make any money on. Instead, we can put up this rental thing. And the rental thing, it really blows my mind that it's so expensive. I don't understand these prices. I don't understand what they're doing with the service. So, I don't know. I see, obviously why they're doing it, but it in this day and age, every CD is the same size. There's Blu-ray players that play CDs and DVDs, so there's no reason that this thing shouldn't too.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. And just to let you listeners know they're checking us out, if you guys have any opinions on backwards capability, the PS4, PS3 Finasco that we're talking about, you can call in and tell us what you think about it. And the number is 718-664-9265. Or you can also get us up on Skype just by hitting the Skype button on Blog Talk Radio, and you guys can join in and let us know how you feel, because I think all of us can agree that it's some shady shit. It's really shady. I mean, not beating around the bush. It is really weird, and any company that was going to do something like this, I would complain about it. And some people are just like, the internet's full of people that have their opinions, and they bitch out and they get pissed off. And but the thing is like, as consumers, I think we have every right to complain about something that we don't agree with. I mean, case in point, look at the Xbox One. When Xbox mentioned the Xbox One with DRM at E3, and they were pretty much like, deal with it, we said we weren't going to deal with it. And you know what? They did a complete 180. Now you can get a Xbox One for, $400 without a Kinect. When they mentioned at E3 that a Kinect was a part of the Xbox One. So if we bitch enough about this, we can make a change, and I don't agree with these remasters. If you never had a PS3, I can understand it. But to delay actual PS4 games, like all these PS4 games are getting delayed, and I'm not saying it's because of the remasters, but they're delaying all these games, and they're just giving us games we had already played. It's like, of course the PS4 isn't going to sell well. Like, no one's going to want to buy it,
Yeah.
That's what irritates me.
I can understand re-releasing the game, like, take The Last of Us. I can understand re-releasing the game for a different system, especially for the PS4. That I can understand for people who because it's not backwards compatible. But remastering it, especially just when it came out, last year?
Yeah.
Quote, remastering it. Now, I have seen the pictures, and there are some significant changes, but to me it seems like they just overloaded it with color. It seems like they're taking more pride in the visual than the actual story. And for The Last of Us, to me, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
I can understand re-releasing it for the PS4, but don't say that it's a remaster just to try and sell your console.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not right, man. But I mean, also, I did want to mention another thing in gaming news that I thought was kind of interesting, and I don't know how you guys are with PC gaming. I'm not a big PC gamer guy, but there was some big news. Activision bought the rights to Sierra, so Sierra's back. And from your response, Jamie, I think you know about Sierra. Yeah. I mean, Sierra was a huge company for PC. I mean, they date back all the way to DOS. And, a couple episodes ago, we actually had Al Lowe, the creator of Leisure Suit Larry, which was put out by Sierra. I mean, King's Quest, all these games. And what do you guys think about this? And if Sierra was to make some, maybe remake some sort of game or bring a series back, what would you guys like to see?
I think it's a really awesome thing that happened. I'm not too savvy on it, as I've just now gotten, like I said, like a few years ago, I just got into like the whole gaming thing. But I know that Sierra was a pretty big company, and to hear that they are coming back, that's awesome. I look over, my boyfriend is like nodding his head rapidly. He listens to me do the podcast, and he heard me say Sierra's coming back, and he's like nodding his head rapidly and like laughing and smiling, and now he's giddy. So I think he's happy about it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. What did you think about this, Zach?
Honestly, I'm trying to even think about any games they actually did that I've played. It's been so long since I played any computer games. What did they did Leisure Suit Larry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that was awesome, and it was so cool when we were able to talk to him and everything. I mean, I guess I know that Metal Jesus used to work for him, and he always says that they made a ton of kick-ass games. So, King's Quest I'm seeing here is something that they did. Space Quest. Trying to look at things that stick out to me. So I mean, yeah, I guess they made some quality stuff. Have they not been doing anything in a while?
Well, I mean, the company closed down a couple of years back. I want to say maybe like 10 years or so back it closed down. And, this kind of, with Sierra coming back, though, it kind of made me think of something very interesting because, retro gaming's big. No doubt about it. But I've also seen a reinsurgence of PC retro gaming. Like, that's starting to get kind of big. Like, people are starting to really get into old PC games. And even Hyperkin, the guys behind the Retron 5, they are making a clone kind of console to play, DOS and stuff like that. So, I mean, with that being said, I think with them, Activision coming back out with Sierra is a fucking great idea. They're going to be pulling those nostalgic heartstrings of old school PC gamer people, and also the new PC gaming people that are getting back into it or learning about it the way we learn about retro. It's all coming full circle.
Yeah, and it's another thing that's really cool with all that kind of stuff is it's showing an entire new generation of people games that they probably might have missed out on, whether they were too young or, at this point, not even born yet. So it's bringing these things back and being able to play, older things and just to see, like, where gaming came from pretty much to get to the point that it's at now, I think is really cool.
I mean, think about how cool it would be, like, for people that have, tablets or iPads, to be able to download, like, a whole Leisure Suit Larry, like, collection. Or King's Quest, because a lot of the point-and-click adventure games that Sierra was known for would be excellent for, like, the 3DS or the Vita or tablet control or tablets or even phones. I mean,
right.
I think it's a great idea, and then they can expand upon that with licenses they still have. They can make a new King's Quest or something like that. I mean, I just really want to see a new. I love King's Quest. I was never really good at it, but I really enjoyed it because it was such an interesting game of making all those choices and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I'm trying to think of some more news that I have. I have another piece of news, and this kind of goes with the whole theme of the episode. I spent so much time complaining about Sony and Microsoft. I'm going to put my eyes towards Nintendo now because Nintendo's pissed me off. Nintendo of America has really pissed me off. They pissed me off so much that I said that Reggie's body should be ready for unemployment. Okay, all right. The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors that's coming out in September. It comes out September 26th. They actually have a special pre-order edition where they have a couple of DLCs where you can change Link's costume so you can get different Link outfits like the Ocarina of Time Link and stuff like that. But the UK and Japan are getting a special edition where you get a treasure box and you also get the Hyrule Warriors scarf. And that it sounds really petty. Like a treasure chest and scarf is like, oh, okay. But to me, this isn't the first time that Nintendo of America has done this to us. We had this same discussion, months ago when Mario Kart 8 came out with the bundle and the special edition.
Yeah.
And we also talked about it with, I'm trying to think of some more things that came out that, the UK and Japan got, but for some reason Nintendo of America didn't get. And I don't know why are they doing this? Like the One Piece game that just came out for the Wii U like last month, got a physical release in Japan, but it got digital release in the UK and America. And I was just like, what the fuck, guys? Like, what are you thinking? Like, why are you doing this? And what do you guys think about this? Is that scarf really a big deal to you guys too, or is it just?
Yeah.
Is it me?
I think we're getting fucking ripped off. I mean, all we get is, the digital stuff, and yet other people are getting actual things. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's not fair. It's just not.
And that was like a Link Between Worlds for the 3DS. UK, they got the treasure chest, the art book, And instead of getting Ocarina of Seasons as a DLC for the 3DS, they got Link's Awakening.
Right.
I was just like, come on, guys. Just, what do you think about this, Zach?
I think it's weird that the contents of things differ from place to place. There's some things like I feel like they might release something in Japan, like say, I don't know, they release something in Japan that people use in their everyday life or whatever, and then it's like pointless to release it over here. So it might be really cool sometimes, but it's kind of impractical. It's more like just a display piece, and it's kind of the same both ways. There might be something that we use, more than a different country, so it's pointless to kind of give it to them. Stuff like this, like a scarf and stuff, it just seems to me like it all comes down to fan service. I don't know the decisions behind any of this stuff. Maybe it costs much more to send it over here or whatever, but it's just like, they know their fans, and they know their fans, are just as rabid for their stuff in every country. So it's no way that they're going to say, well, we didn't think you'd like this, or we didn't think you'd want this. But I don't know. I just think it's weird, the fan service and how it differs from place to place. Like, even in like the Nintendo store, like the Club Nintendo store, Japan gets so much cooler stuff than America has ever gotten. At one point, they had like a Super Nintendo controller that plugged into the Wii controller.
I remember that. And
I don't think that ever came out over here. But it's like, people are going to want it everywhere. But yeah, I definitely can see a lot of things not translating from country to country as far as like how awesome that they are. Were the Platinum Rewards in Japan also downloadable games?
No, they weren't. And that's another good point. That's another good point. And I do want to say this. Like, one way Nintendo could fix this is if they took away that fucking region lock.
Yeah.
That's horrible about it. Because, if they didn't have region lock, I would be like, okay, well, I'll just pre-order a Japanese copy of Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, I'll pay a little bit more, but I want that scarf and I want that nice treasure chest that comes with it. So I would import it. The new Godzilla game that's coming out next year for the PlayStation 3, it's probably going to stay in Japan, but Sony doesn't region lock their games, so I can import it and be happy.
It's like Fatal Frame, the new Fatal Frame that's coming out.
Yeah, and that's still in limbo. I remember I did a video for that, trying to get a petition signed that I found online, and a lot of people are signing up for it, but it's still, right now, it's still in limbo if it's even going to come, the new Fatal Frame, if it's even going to come to America or UK. So, and then sometimes the games come out in the UK and we don't even see it in America. That's what really sucks. So think about it this way, like, if they didn't have region lock, we wouldn't have had to have the Operation Rainfall to bring, The Last Story, Xenoblade Chronicles, and Pandora's Tower over here. They weren't even going to bring those over to the west side of the world, but we had to get a petition and bring it over here. So, it's so aggravating. I really wish Nintendo would just stop it. And the thing is like, their handhelds, other than the 3DS, were never region locked. Like, what sense does that make?
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. I personally hate region lock, and I think it's stupid as hell, especially in the time and place that we live in right now. It's like, picture if you had Steam in America, and then you had Steam in another country, and it was like, well, actually, I don't know if you can transfer. Can you gift games on Steam?
Yeah.
Yes.
So say like you were going to gift them, and it was like, sorry, this is like region locked. Region locking is so stupid. I don't know why it was ever a thing. Like you were saying, Nintendo, for their handheld, nothing has ever been region locked. Not Game Boy, not Game Boy Advance, not DS, none of those. And yet the 3DS is region locked. I remember there was some stupid story about Persona 4 Arena, how that was the only PlayStation 3 game being region locked for whatever reason. And it's I've never thought it was cool. I've never understood it. It's just pointless.
To me, it just really takes away from some of the diehard fans, because some people, they'll import it. I've imported games. I've ordered games online and played them and stuff like that. I remember when I had just gotten my Wii U, and I actually have two stories for this. I just got my Wii U, and one of the things that came with it was a digital download of Hyrule Historia. Well, I already have Hyrule Historia. Like, I have the hardcover book for it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to give it to Burhan. So I gave Burhan the code, and it wouldn't work because even their digital content is region locked. I had a contest for Excess Gaming Podcast. I think it was just with the release of Link Between Worlds. I had a contest because I already had Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages on the Game Boy Color. So I was like, when I get this DLC, I'll just give it away as prize. Great thinking, right? Well, the problem was the guy that won the contest, he lived in Switzerland. So my code, so him entering in the code, or him entering in the contest and me giving the code didn't work. It made me feel so freaking bad and stupid, and it was all because of Nintendo's region lock, even on DLC.
That's stupid.
It's like the world has made so much progress to, like, bring everybody together, and, we're connected on the internet, we're connected, through telephones, we're connected through every possible thing, and yet they're doing this petty fucking bullshit, which separates people in gaming. I couldn't be like, if there was a game that came out in America that didn't come out anywhere else, which is probably not the exact example to use because it's normally the other way around. If something came out in Japan that I really wanted to play, and someone was like, I have that game, I want to send it to you, then I would have to go find a Super Famicom, or I would have to fix, like, whatever you do in a Super Nintendo so you can play Super Famicom games in it, or get a Game Genie, or, whatever. But it's like I have to go out of my way to do something else because this shouldn't have ever even happened to begin with. Region lock fucking boils my blood. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's really, really annoying. So annoying. I really wish they would just stop with it. Especially like you said, with this day and age. I mean, we're all connected. All of us are all over the world, and we can get together. I mean, right now we're all in America, but like Burhan's in London. We can all get together and make a podcast. Why can't we get together and give each other video games or DLC? Stuff that Nintendo's not going to lose money on anyway, because once the DLC's put in, it's put in. So. Yeah, I don't know. Zach, did you have any more news?
The only thing that I thought was cool, there was an article on Kotaku about a guy who's dropped his iPhone or whatever and it cracked, so he made his background picture a picture of Ryu doing a Hadouken, and it looked like it was like breaking the glass.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That's so cool.
Well, I was also going to say, I just remembered that there was a guy that's actually suing Sony right now because of Killzone wasn't 1080 or had 60 frames like they said it would.
What?
So he's actually suing them right now.
Oh, good. I mean, people have been like, okay. So people make this video game, and they say, like, this is going to have all this shit to get you all hyped up. It's going to be 1080p. It's going to be 60 frames. It's going to be awesome. Then it finally comes out. You buy it. You see that it's not. They haven't said anything to update that it wouldn't be. Now you've spent your money. I mean, okay, I was watching recently. I've been thinking about the E.T. game for Atari recently.
Oh, God,
right.
Why?
And, because it's an interesting story. But anyway, and the game's not that bad. But, okay, so people buy this shitty-ass game. By other standards, yeah, the game is balls. And, back in the 80s when that came out, these people returned these games to Atari, and pretty much said, I want my money back because you sold me shit. I don't see that happening in this day and age. Like,
no.
You can't go to GameStop, buy a game, take it home, realize the game is shit or not what you were promised. You can't just bring it back and say, oh yeah, it's not what it was supposed to be. And even more of that, you would literally have to do exactly what they did and just send it, I guess, to the manufacturer and hope that they give you a refund. I don't know what the stipulations on any of that stuff are, but it just seems like these people back in the 80s were just like, I'm not standing for your shit. This is shit. Give me my money back. And I don't see that happening anymore. So this guy doing something, I'm happy people are speaking up about this stuff. Suing, whatever, I don't know. But it's just like, at least he's making it known that you promised me something. You gave me something that wasn't what you promised me. You didn't discount it because, you didn't give it a discount because, you didn't fulfill all of your promises, and I'm making it known. I'm not happy with it. Even if it's a little thing like, it doesn't have, 1080p HD graphics and 60 frames per second. They're still promising this shit to get you hooked. Do you know how many people nowadays watch everything in HD only, movies in 3D? This is what they like. This is what they're into. They want the clearest shit. They don't want to go back to anything else anymore. So it's like this guy, they're promising all this HD perfect shit, and they're not actually producing it.
Yeah. It's. I remember Sony actually got in a little bit of trouble with Watch Dogs because they had that advertising on the main page. It was like, talking about how it was 1080, 60 frames, and it wasn't. And they actually had to take it down. They took it down really fast, and maybe they took it down because of the lawsuit. Because we were just now finding out about this lawsuit. It could have been happening months ago with the whole Killzone thing. So that could have been what it was,
Yeah, right.
So I don't agree with it. I don't agree with Ubisoft is one of the worst ones where they show their games on high-powered PCs, and then they don't deliver it on consoles. They dumb it down, and they expect us to be like, oh, well, that's okay. It's like, no, it's not okay. And I know a lot of people say the graphics aren't everything, and it's really not. But when you're shown what it is and you get it and it doesn't look that way, there's a reason to get pissed off about it, especially when you spend $60 on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree.
So, yeah, this is kind of segueing into our whole episode where we're just kind of venting about some of the stuff. So, I'm gonna kind of go around the totem pole, and I'm gonna ask you, Jamie, what's something right now with gaming that pisses you off?
Oh God. How long do I have? No, I would have to say the thing that is just, God, pissing me the fuck off. I have two things. One is the Last of Us remaster. That has pissed me off beyond belief, simply because they are making it more about visual than story. And The Last of Us is just, it's story driven. The story, it was beautiful. It'll rip your heart out. And now they're like, oh, it's all about the graphics. No, it's not. No, it's not. Have you even played the game if you think that it's all about graphics? Did you even listen to the story? Did you make it through the first 15 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
That's horrible. And I actually met Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson at MomoCon.
Wow.
Yeah, I met them at MomoCon this year. And I really connect with The Last of Us at a very strong level. Joel looks exactly like my dad, and my dad passed away when I was 12. And the fact that he looks exactly like Joel, acts like him, and when I was younger, I looked like Sarah. And so this was just, it was such a good opportunity to meet Troy and tell him that. But the point is that this game has physically and emotionally traumatized Joel and Ashley. And they keep, Troy and Ashley, and they keep making it all about visual instead of the story. And that just, I don't know, that just really, it makes me just want to go to the manufacturers and the writers who are doing this and just punch them for it. And the fact that the movie has been confirmed, there's a movie been confirmed for The Last of Us. They've got a director, and it's supposed to be out within the next 2 years. But Naughty Dog has already wanted to change the ending.
Yeah, I know that was something that a lot of people loved or hate. A lot of people loved the ending or hated it. I thought the ending was good.
Yes, it was gorgeous. I loved it. Even Troy and Ashley, they talked about the ending at the con, and they said, when we were told the ending, they said, what do you think of it? And we had to walk away and take a minute. But when we thought about it and came back and thought about it from the character's perspective, we looked up and said, okay, we love it. And the fact that Naughty Dog has already said, yeah, we want to change the ending of the movie, oh, hell no.
Yeah, and I think some of it, too, is, not to spoil it for those who hadn't played Last of Us, because I think Jamie will agree that Last of Us is a great game. It was a game that I did play in almost one sitting. Like I played it until the sun came up, and I hadn't done that in a game in a long time.
Right.
But the ending, I think a lot of the problem is the ending didn't have that big Hollywood ending that I think people were expecting. It was very subtle, but the subtleness is what made it emotional and powerful, in my opinion.
Right, and for them to want to change that, it changes everything that The Last of Us is.
Yeah.
Just to the core, the fact that they want to change that ending, I'm interested to see if they do it, because if they do it, the voice actors are going to riot themselves. Because they are so emotionally attached to this game. They, blood, sweat, and tears that they put into this game. And I hope, half of me hopes they do change the ending, because they are in for a hell of a fight.
Yeah. It's definitely going to rub people the wrong way, especially with it being Naughty Dog. Because, you can't blame it on like a director. You can't be like, oh, it was, Michael Bay. You can't say something like that. It's the actual people behind it that changed it, and that's what makes it so messed up. It'd be nice if they came out with it. They don't have to make the ending exactly like the movie. They could change a little bit of it, because what's the point of watching a movie if you know exactly how it's going to end? But the thing is,
based off of the game, then you do want it to end exactly the same way.
Well, yeah. I think if it ended very subtle, if the change was very subtle, it'd be all right. But not completely go beeline with it. But what they could do is maybe when they come out with it on Blu-ray or DVD, give that extra ending that the other side of people wanted to see.
Right, have it as an alternate ending for people who, wanted a quote happy ending.
Yeah, just get it out of their system. But that's my thing, and that's how I feel about reboots and novel to movie adaptations. That I feel like they do have to change a little bit of something, because if they make it carbon copy. Like, me personally, if I was to see a movie that was a carbon copy of a comic I read, or a book I read, or even a video game I played, I wouldn't want to go see it. I'd be like, I've already went through that experience. But when they change it a little bit, and maybe they give it like another perspective or something like that, but don't get away from the origins or don't get away from the feeling, then that's okay. What do you think about that? Right.
Changing the ending, I like the ending of that game, so, I don't know why people change the endings of anything. They think they can do a lot better, and, there was nothing wrong with that ending. I thought it was, the thing about the way The Last of Us ended is that is, I believe, a realistic way a human being would act. The choices that he made at the very end. And so that's like a real ending. So, I noticed that you called it a happy ending. That's really, in a way, I guess it's a happy ending, but in a way, for the rest of the entire world, it's really not. So yeah, I'm not into when people start changing things around. I understand. There's kind of a, instead of taking something like frame by frame from a comic book and making it into a movie, a lot of people want to, kind of put their own spin on things, so they can say that they did some more in the video or for the movie. The Last of Us, when someone was talking about a remastered version, The Last of Us is in a weird spot, I think, just like Grand Theft Auto 5. They came out towards the end of the PS3. I remember everyone saying The Last of Us was like, the last, the magnum opus or whatever people say, like the last good thing that, or the swan song, for the PS3. So like the last really amazing thing that was going to come out. And so these two, I think, were caught in this middle area where it's like, it's not too old, but we spent a ton of money to make this, and it's not too old, but it wasn't put out on the PS4 because the PS4 and Xbox One were not out when this game came out. So they're stuck in this limbo area, I feel, where it's like, we spent a shit ton of money to make this. We have not even touched the next generation console market, which this would sell on. Why not do it? I don't know. Burhan was saying how this pissed him off that we remastered it so early, but I mean, it's gonna be the same game. It's gonna be put out. Who cares if they put it out now or they put it out 10 years from now? It's gonna come out, and it's just one of those few games I feel like that rode the line between generations, and I'm happy that they re-put this out, and I'm very happy that Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out for the newer generation consoles too, because it just doesn't make sense not to. If they had just pushed it back another year, it would have came out for everything at the same time.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. I mean, like, I think it's all a personal preference with the whole, and that's the thing. I when I get into a lot of debates about this subject and Facebook group pages and stuff. Like, some people, they're just like, well, you just hate Sony, and I'm like, no, that's not what it is. I don't hate Sony, but it's all about personal preference, and I mean, like, yeah, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. My only thing is while I don't agree with the remasters, I don't mind if they make them as long as if they're still pushing forward with other new projects. I don't want someone to buy a PS4 or a new current gen console as it is, and the only thing they really have to look forward to is games that were on a previous generation. To me, that's the part that bothers me. That's the part that I'm just kind of like, that's so messed up, It's like, it really, really bothers me, that people would spend that much money on a new console and they have nothing to play,
Right.
Yeah, it was like someone was saying, like, get the Ouya. First thing you do, play old video games on it.
Oh, yeah. Ouya. But I mean, like, well, that's the thing, man. When I bought the Ouya, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I bought it. I mean, because I'm not a big, I hate playing emulators on the PC, and I was like, I can hook this up to my TV, I can get a PlayStation emulator, and I can use my PS3 controller. It's like playing the real thing, Love it. But yeah, man, it just grinds my gears. But I will say, one of the things that, what was funny is you had people that were glorifying The Last of Us remaster, but they were pissed off about the Resident Evil remaster.
Right. Exactly.
And a lot of people were saying, because it's Capcom, like, oh, this is, Capcom just trying to get money from people and blah, blah, blah. Well, you got to listen to this, The GameCube version of Resident Evil is a freaking masterpiece. I love that game so much. But the problem with Resident Evil when it came out for the GameCube is it came out the same time as Resident Evil 4 for the PS2. And it was just like, it didn't sell well, and not many people played it. And it came out 13 years ago. So, I mean, there's people that are there's teenagers out now that had never played that game, that probably don't even know that game existed. So this is a way for them to kind of experience the bad tank controls, the horrible voice acting, and the awesomeness that was Resident Evil, and now they can play it in remaster, and it looks good. So, I mean, that's where I think remasters are kind of nice. Like, I know a lot of people complain about the Star Wars remasters, but one of the things I like about Star Wars, whenever they do something like this, they put it back in the theater. And yeah. I know when I wasn't fortunate enough, to see any of the original Star Wars movies in theaters, because I'm a lot younger. But, when they started re-releasing them and putting them in theaters, I got to experience it, and, it was great. It was great to be able to go to movies and see those kind of movies the way they were supposed to be seen, So, I mean, like, that's one thing I do kind of like about remasters. I will admit that. It gives younger generation the old style, but they change it up so it doesn't look so foreign to them. Like the kids
right.
that played the Game Boy. You guys saw that video, right?
Oh yeah, that was so funny.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that one, but I saw it up on something.
It was really crazy. It was crazy seeing some of the kids' reactions. Like, some of them were some of them knew. They're like, oh, this is a Game Boy. I remember these. And some kids were just like, I don't understand why anyone would play this. I'd rather just play with my iPad. One kid thought it was the MP3 case. He's like, is this an MP3 case?
Those kids don't know shit.
Like, no, you ignorant swine.
Yeah, they don't know shit.
But yeah, it's interesting, and again, guys that are listening, if you want to call in, tell us something about video games that just really pissed you off. Let us know. You can call us at 718-664-9265, or you can hit us up on Skype on Blog Talk Radio just by hitting that little Skype button, and it's free on Skype. All you have to do is have a microphone and wear headphones so we don't hear ourselves. But yeah, I mean, Zach, what's something that pisses you off about gaming? I know there's a lot that pisses you off.
Yeah. A lot of stuff pisses me off. I'm trying to think of one thing in particular off the top of my head. Let's come back to me. I can't think of anything like this.
I think the one thing that pisses me off is fanboyism. I cannot stand fanboyism. I cannot stand people that are just completely blind and tied to one product, and they don't want to venture off. They don't want to go to something else. Like, you know, it's one thing to like a series. Like, Jamie, you love Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah.
You think Wesker's the sexiest thing alive?
I do.
But you also like playing Silent Hill, correct?
Yes.
Some people aren't like that. Some people, you know, they stick with Resident Evil. They say, fuck Silent Hill. I'm only going to play Resident Evil because Wesker's hot. That's how some fanboys are, or fangirls, whatever tickles your pickle. But the thing is, it's like, it annoys me because I feel like these people are missing out. You know, I hear some people bash on the Xbox One or the PS4 or the Wii U, and I think about the games they're not playing. Like, you know, Operation Overdrive, or no, I keep on saying Operation, but Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox One looks fun. I really want to play that game. You know, PS4 has, you know, freaking Rezio Gun. You know, you can't play that anywhere. And some people are not playing it because they don't like Sony, or like Nintendo with all, you know, Mario Kart 8 and Mario 3D World. You know, it's very unfortunate that some people are like that. And then you have the ones that are so for it and they're so dedicated to it that they defend it. They defend it when someone's screwing them over. Like, you know, you would have a Microsoft fanboy that would defend Microsoft with a DRM. Like when they had the DRM, they're like, well, you know, this is to help, you know, the company maintain, and, you know, this is really going to help us in the long run. You know, we just got to do it, guys. It's like, no. Get your foggy glasses off and let's keep going, you know? It's like, that really pisses me off. So that's one of my gripes. I don't like fanboyism. I think, you know, if you love something, that's cool, but, you know, have open options. It's gaming. Whenever it all comes down to it. And another thing that really burns my gears or grinds my gears is when people complain that mobile gaming is not gaming. That really pisses me off. Do I think is as big gaming as like an RPG? No. But you're still playing something on your phone. You know, and some people are like, oh, well, you know, it's for the casual market. You know what? Then I guess Pac-Man is for the casual market. I guess Mario's for the casual market. And I'm talking about old school. I'm not talking about the new casual stuff that people talk about today. I'm talking about stuff that people consider as classics. Because Pac-Man is a simple game, and it could easily be on the phone, and you can get the same enjoyment with it being on your phone as you would on an arcade.
Right.
You know, that's...
It's way better than the 2600 version.
Ain't that the truth?
God.
But yeah, I mean, that really pisses me off when people do that. It's just... And then I hate the casual and hardcore tagline with gaming. That was just, in my opinion, that was just a marketing ploy to help sell the Wii, because the Wii was trying to go towards everyone. That's why you had pictures of families playing. That's why you had pictures of old people bowling. And they used the term casual gamer because a lot of these older people were like, well, I don't really play video games. Well, Grandma, this is a casual game. Oh, it's casual? Yeah. It's really, really simple. But the thing is like, to me, it's all games. And I hate it because some people will go into it and they won't consider a game like, they won't consider a game that doesn't have, guns or gray and brown colored scheme as a casual game or hardcore game. It's like, if it's blood and violence, it's hardcore. If it's casual, it's kiddie. And that's the part that really pisses me off, because there's a lot of games that look kiddie, like Super Meat Boy. That is a freaking hardcore game. That is not a casual game. But some people look at it that way because it's a platformer.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you have to you have to say things differently to get people to look at it. So, yeah, the way they might say this is for the casual gamer, but there's one big thing that comes to my head immediately. Like, it's slightly off topic. So people stopped buying video games in the 80s and stuff because, Atari just, had a fuckfest of shitty games. Nintendo comes out, and instead of calling their console a video game system, they call it an entertainment system, twisting, what they're going to call their product so that people don't automatically assume it's a video game system, don't automatically assume it sucks balls, and they're more willing to try it out. So it's definitely a company needs to know who its target audience is and how to get them to want what they're selling. So, I just feel like sometimes you have to put a spin on some things you say. It's not that it's a lie, it's not that Nintendo wasn't an entertainment system, but it was, if you had gone with the scheme of everybody else, it was a video game console. It's not that the Wii isn't for casual gamers or isn't just for casual gamers, but, they wanted that market and they got it.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very smart. And, yeah, I mean, that's a great point. It's just what I hate about it is some people take it so literal, and they're just like, oh, this is a casual game. Dude, it's Contra. That's not casual.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, that's the thing that pisses me off. But did you get anything, Zach? Like, anything piss you off?
I just want to talk about, I guess, stuff that pisses everybody else off, because it probably pisses me off, too.
Okay.
The answer is yes, everything pisses him off. So the answer to, did you find anything that pissed you off? Yes. What was it? Yes.
Did you guys talk about, because I wasn't here last week, and this is not trying to go back to gaming news, but I mean, this would kind of go back to segue what we're talking about. But did you guys talk about the GameStop credit card?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Well, I mean, this could be something that pisses... Everyone gets pissed off at GameStop. Fuck GameStop, right? Well,
right.
Hey, they had Paper Mario for the 3DS for $10 the other day, so I picked it up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine. But it's like you take in like $100 worth of games, like to trade in. They're like, okay, well, here's $10 in store credit.
Yeah.
Go have fun.
Oh, actually, you know what? I do want to talk about one thing real quick. Hang on one second. One thing that has pissed me off for fucking years is if I were to go to GameStop and I were to trade a game into them, they could be like, this game's a little scratched. We're going to fucking charge you $1.50 or whatever so we can send this game out to be buffed and then sent back. But I guarantee you that if I traded a game into GameStop and it was scratched and they charged me for it, and then some guy came in directly after me looking for that game, they would just sell him that game and they just stole $1.50 from me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That has been on the top of my bullshit list for a long time. I am surprised there's no class action lawsuit against that.
And you want me to tell you a secret? Some game, I don't know about GameStop now, but a lot of them back in the day, they had the resurfacing machines in the back of the store, so they didn't have to really send it anywhere.
Right, yeah, I remember that. And, one time I asked the guy, I asked him something like, how much does it cost to resurface a disc? And he said, it depends what game it is.
What?
Yeah.
That was his answer to me.
What? How the hell does that make any sense?
It doesn't make any sense. I have no fucking clue. But this is something where, when 5 years ago, when I was still living in California, and this was really pissing me off because, it wasn't happening to me, but when I would see when people would go in there and trade the game in, and they'd be like, oh, this is scratched. There's been times where I've bought games from them, and it was scratched. So they obviously didn't send it out at all to anybody.
Oh yeah, there's been like times when I went to GameStop and I got a game and it flat out did not work when I brought it back to my home because it was so goddamn scratched.
And it's funny that their guarantee is like, we guarantee you this game will play or your money back, but it's like a guarantee in the opposite way. So it's not that they filter all the garbage out and sell you only good shit that will work. It's that they sell you everything, and if it's shit, you can bring it back and we'll give you something else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I really hate it when you're buying a game. They always ask you if you want to do that replacement fee. Does any of you guys do that? I don't do that.
Yeah, I bought it. No, I don't do it. But I've been trying like a lot of like obscure ass Wii games that are like $1 just because they look ridiculous. And every time like I'm buying like a game that's like $2, he's like, "Do you want to do like the scratch fee for like $2?" It's like, this game cost me $2. If it gets fucking scratched, I'll throw it away and buy another one. It's like, but yeah. Okay, so like 5 years ago when this was really pissing me off, I really wanted to start a whole movement about this. I wanted to like film myself going into GameStops, like trading in a game that was scratched, and they go, "All right, we're going to have to charge you for this," and then have one of my buddies go in directly after me, ask for the game, watch him buy it, note all the places that do this, and start a fucking movement about it. That was my idea.
You should do it.
I should. There's no time like the present.
Amen.
That's true. Yeah, But what I was going to talk about was the GameStop credit card that they have. They have this credit card that they're coming out with, and what's cool about it, totally sarcasm, what's cool about it is, if you have a Power Ups Rewards membership, you're pre-approved. But here's the kicker, guys. The interest rate is 27%.
Wait.
Whoa.
Wait, so if you have a Power Up Rewards card, like
right.
the free one or the one you pay for?
The one you pay for.
So that is their screening process. See, that's something. Okay, so so I know people who are younger and they got a credit card because it was one of those companies who is just fishing for people to fuck over, and they don't quite understand whatever about the credit card, or they don't have the proper funds to pay this shit off. And the fact that people are dangling this credit card in front of their face it's not right, And okay, so you have GameStop, and so a lot of times when you want to get a credit card, you have to like apply, and they have to see like whatever shit that you have that you're able, I guess, to do that shit or whatever. This place is just saying pretty much, hey, if you gave us $15, you're fine. Yeah, you're pre-approved. There is no screening. There's nothing. They're just pretty much. That's annoying to me.
And the fact that it's 27% interest, and you have 2 months before you pay it off, before the interest rates start kicking in. 2 months. So you got all these like 18 to 20-year-olds, like people in their early 20s that are probably just getting out of college or probably still in college. This is probably like their first credit card that they'll get, and what's the first thing they're going to do with it? They're going to buy an Xbox One. They're going to buy a PS4. They're going to buy a Wii U. Shit, they have a credit card. They're probably going to buy all three. And it's just going to totally ruin their credit score.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's like back in the 90s. My sister was a victim of it, of those fucking like CD scams, the BMG music. You get 12 CDs for a penny. You know, so many people are in debt because of that, and that's pretty much what GameStop's doing right now. And also the fact that they're in certain GameStops, it depends on which one you go to, because they're trying to implement the pawn shop laws for used games at GameStop. So if you go to Pittsburgh and you're trading in games, you have to give them your thumbprint now.
What?
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not down with any of that shit. The only people I've ever given my fingerprints to is the military when I went in. So it's like, I'm not down with giving anybody anything. I don't want any to be in any system where anybody can, just pull me up due to a fingerprint or any of this bullshit. Some people will say like, whatever, it's just a fingerprint. Like, if you're not a fucking criminal or whatever, it shouldn't matter. But it's just like these little things. Like, I don't want to be in the system or whatever system you have. I don't want to be a part of any of this shit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it's just, and the thing is, they already have your ID.
Yeah, right, I know.
They already have your ID. They already have your information. What do you need my thumbprint for? Pawn shops I can understand, because pawn shops you can pawn fucking guns.
Right.
Like that's understandable. Or you can stolen products always go through pawn shops. GameStop, I mean, you got their information, that's good enough. No one's going to be like, trading in an M16 or a Glock for a freaking, the new Final Fantasy game. Just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really pissed me off, and just just GameStop in general pisses me off sometimes, and I feel bad for the people that work there. I mean, I was one of them, and they deal with a lot of bullshit. It's probably one of the worst companies to work for. But
yeah, I've heard that a bunch. One time I went into a GameStop, and there was nobody in there, and there was like one manager, but like the district managers were like going over the store and like looking at all kinds of stuff. And when I walked up, the guy who was working there, so there's the other two managers, like district managers, like doing whatever. The guy who was working there, like, comes up, he's like, oh, do you have games to trade? I'm like, I don't trade in any games. He's like, oh, can I help you find something? I'm like, no, thank you. He's like, oh, do you have a tablet that you want to trade in? It's like, dude, please fucking leave me alone. Like, I don't know, I'm not trying to be rude. I don't have any shit to trade into you. You're only doing this because these people are here. But they're getting to the point where, so every time I buy something at GameStop, the guy's like, oh, you want to buy Xbox One? Like, I'm buying a fucking Wii game. Why would I want to buy an Xbox One? Like, you're not even looking at, like, the people purchasing shit. You're just saying things to say things. Like, and I this guy sees me all the time. He's like, oh, you ready to buy that PS4? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, you want to pre-order Pokemon? Like, no. Like, oh, do you want to get this? No, like, no, I don't fucking want it. Check me out, please. Like, I don't want to be rude. I just want to buy this and fucking leave. Like, if you were to go to Amazon and if you pick what you want to buy, on your way to the checkout page, they put all these fucking ads. Like, oh, you don't want this shit? No. You want this shit? No. Fucking check me the fuck out. It would piss you off. It would piss everybody off. I don't know how the fuck they get away with this shit, but it gets to a point where I feel like pressured. Like, stop talking and just bring this up. It's really annoying.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel bad for the people that work there when they have to do that, because the thing is like, if they don't do it, especially not just the managers, but like the quote unquote game advisors, the salesmen.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, that's what their hours are based off of.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know that that's a big thing.
They get legitimately fired if they don't try to sell you something else.
Right. One time, when Blockbuster, a couple of years ago, when Blockbuster was like selling a shit ton of games, like $5 a piece, like I cleaned up on them. I bought a ton and I beat them all, like in whatever, like the summer. And then GameStop was having like a really good like trade-in. It was like plus like 40% or whatever it was at the time, like trade-in. So I took these games and I paid like $5 a piece for it, and I got like well over like $100 and something bucks. And so I doubled my money and I got to play the games. But okay, so as I'm checking out, the lady goes, oh, because of the promotion, you get an extra $5 to, like, put towards any game that you want. So I was like, all right, whatever, just put it to any game. I don't care. I'll come change it later if I want something else. When I walked out of the store, I looked at the receipt, and it wasn't a free $5. They took $5 off of my amount that, like, I was getting for trading the games in. And I walked back in, and I was like, I want that $5. Because you just lied to me. And she's like, you're killing me here. Like, I need some pre-orders. I'm like, you fucking just lied to me and took $5 from me. Like, no, give me my money back, and I'm leaving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing that pisses me off. Gosh, and that's one of the big reasons why people don't go into GameStop, because of the pressure, and
right.
It's good in the fact that the GameStop that I go into, like, the people know me so well there that I don't get that problem. But if I go to another GameStop, I'm like, fuck. I'm going to go in there. People are going to be like, hey, you want to get the new Battlefield? And I'm like, nah, I don't really like Battlefield. What about Call of Duty?
Well, one thing is, like, I can understand if you come up with a Call of Duty game, I can understand them asking you. I mean, obviously you play the games. When I'm coming up with fucking Paper Mario for the 3DS, why are you asking me if I want a fucking Xbox One? I don't want an Xbox One. It's like, like, look at your customers. Look at what they're buying. Don't just blurt out whatever shit comes to your head.
The thing that really, I used to have to do that. When I worked at GameStop, I remember when I was working at GameStop, the new 50 Cent game was coming out, that Bulletproof game, and I remember how dumb I felt when I had a kid coming in there, not really a kid, but someone coming in there and buying like Dark Cloud or buying, Mario Sunshine or something like that. I'm like, hey, so what about that new 50 Cent game? And they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. That's the thing. I would think that they would say, so I'm not cool with them asking you at all. I don't think it's cool. I feel honestly like it's like you feel pressured. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't want it. I haven't asked for it, so don't tell me about it. But you would think that they would say like here's like 5 genres of games that are coming out that we want to sell. Like here's 5 different games from 5 different genres that we want to sell. If someone comes up with an RPG, ask them if they want to buy this. If they come up with a sports game, ask them if they want to pre-order Madden. If they come up with Call of Duty, ask them if they want that. If they come up with none of the above, fucking throw whatever into it. But it's like I said, they're not even looking at people. They're just saying like I said, I'm buying Paper Mario for the 3DS. Guy offers me an Xbox One and Battlefield. It's like there's no connection here. I don't want it. If I wanted it, I would ask you for it.
Yeah, it's just very. It makes you uncomfortable. When it all comes down to it, it makes the customer uncomfortable.
It absolutely does. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean that's definitely one of the things that pissed me off. And of course, another thing that pisses me off is unnecessary DLC. Now I say unnecessary DLC because I don't exactly think that DLC is bad. If it prolongs a story or it gives you new life into a game, that's cool. And especially if it's affordable. I get an extra storyline for like $5. That's cool.
Right.
But the DLC I don't like is the unnecessary, like with fighting games. Buying characters, buying costumes. Back in the day, you unlocked that shit. You used to have to play the games on the hardest difficulty to get a different costume or unlock someone, and that was like bragging rights as a gamer because not everyone could go to the arcades. That's why they did it back then. But, I don't agree with that, or even endings. I remember, Square Enix was selling an ending to Final Fantasy 13. You remember that, Zach?
What?
That I don't remember, no.
Yeah, they were selling a better ending to Final Fantasy 13.
a better ending. Like we wrote this shitty ass ending. Just put it out. We'll have a DLC for another ending.
Yeah.
DLC is one of the reasons. That's hilarious that that's ever happened. DLC is one of the reasons why programmers and stuff get lazy in this day and age. It's like, and it's one reason why they're willing to push out a subpar product because technically they can fix a lot of things later on through DLC. When games were coming out on a cartridge and there was no internet, that was it. You put that out. That's the game now. So it's like, you move on to the next thing. You're finished here. And so they, people. I don't remember when I was a kid. Besides games just straight up sucking complete ass, I don't remember like playing a lot of games and there'd be like glitches. Like I remember I played Final Fantasy 3. That's one of the biggest games I've ever played in my life. I don't remember having any problems with that whatsoever. And I guarantee that game took 10 times longer to make than some of these bullshit ass things coming out that need DLC to fix them. I don't. DLC. It's cool for what it does. Like one thing that's kind of DLC before downloadable is it's like Sonic and Knuckles, how you could plug your other game into it and it would allow Knuckles to now be in the other Sonic games. Like that was something that was really cool. But yeah, it's just DLC. I feel like this now is seen as just to get money. And it's seen as just a way to like buy time. Like if the game comes out and there's a game-breaking bug, we can fix it now. We don't have to recall all the copies. We can just put a DLC, a patch out, and it'll fix it. Yeah, and that's what's so annoying with gaming now. And a lot of that is the reason why I think some people are going to retro, the classics, because they're tired of it. I mean, a lot of it might be the some people collect because of the value, the thrill of the hunt, but I think a lot of people are going back because games were a lot simpler back then, but you didn't deal with the bullshit. I'd rather deal with something simple than deal with bullshit. And, to have these games that have, almost as big of a budget as a movie, and it come out and, your guy's head's glitching through the wall, that pisses me off. I'm like, dude, you spent over $1 million on this game. Why is my dude moonwalking up the stairs right now? Yeah, one thing that sticks out to me is the Silent Hill HD remake. It's like somebody already made these games on older consoles that work perfectly, and now you put this compilation out, and it fucking has game-breaking glitches that do not allow you to finish the game.
Right.
And then there's one problem is the one thing with DLC is it takes a while to come out a lot of times. They never even patched Silent Hill. So that game, on the PS3 or the 360, one of the two, is unplayable.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Kingdom or Kings of Alamor that came out a couple years ago. That game has a game-breaking glitch that, if you do a certain thing, you can't beat the game.
Yeah.
And the company's not around anymore, so they can't patch it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
God.
just a useless game.
So, I mean, like, I've had a lot of people say that's a really good game, but because I know that glitch, and it was actually Metal Jesus Rocks that talked about it, because his wife loved the game, and she went through that glitch, and that's how they found out, and he talked about it in a video. I was like, wow, I'm not going to buy this game. Like, I don't even want to play it.
There's
almost
nothing more frustrating than putting in hours and hours and hours and hours into a game and then not being able to beat it. When I played Duke Nukem Forever, that game is dog shit. It's fucking horrible.
Oh yeah. Why did you play that game?
Well, I was a big Duke Nukem fan back in the day, so I was going to try it out. So I tried it out, and granted, when I bought it, it was one of those games I was talking about at Blockbuster that was like $5. So it's like, yeah, whatever. So anyway. The beginning of that game is actually really good, but you can tell throughout playing that game that you know that the game has changed hands of companies working on it many, many times. The style, everything changes throughout the game. There's one part in that game where there's a boss underwater who's a pain in the ass to kill, and not only are you trying to kill this boss, you have to keep walking over to these vents because you have to, you can't breathe underwater or whatever, so you have to keep inhaling air from these vents. So not only are you fighting the boss, you have to, inhale from these vents and shit. And it's the biggest pain in the ass, and that boss took me like an hour to beat, and I was getting so frustrated, and all my roommates were like, why are you even still playing this game? And I just told them, I've already dumped way too much time into this piece of shit to not beat it. If I walk away from this game now unbeaten, I would just wasted hours of my life. At least I can beat it and say I've completed it.
Right.
Yeah, that is one thing. Like, I don't really have like rage when I play games. Like, I don't really get pissed off. Like, a lot of times I'll put a game down and just like take a smoke break or something and get back to it. But that is very frustrating. Like, when you're trying to beat that shit and you just keep going and going and going and you just can't stop. It becomes an obsession.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
Hey, Xander, did you ever play Never Dead?
No, I did. I never played it.
That game is one of the fucking biggest pieces of garbage ever made by human beings. It makes me want to just get on the next shuttle to Mars and never look back. It is so bad. It's absolutely terrible. And that game I got that game. I remember it was on sale from the Microsoft store for $5 or $10, and I bought it. Within 30 minutes of playing that game, my blood had boiled so bad, and I was so pissed off. I just went to the bar to get drunk. I was like, I can't even look at it ever again. I want this out of my house now.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life.
What made it so bad?
Okay, that game. Okay, so that's a game where you can't die. So if some big ass thing hits you, your whole body just falls apart, and then you're ahead, and you have to go collect the rest of your limbs to become a person again.
What?
Yeah. So
it sounds like a cool concept,
dude,
but if it's not done right,
on paper, this game is awesome. It just sounds awesome on paper. So, okay, I go and collect myself back together, and something just comes out of somewhere else, and I get smashed into 6 pieces again. I'm a head rolling around, and there's an arm that I collect, so I can't do shit with that. So I have to get a leg, and then you have to, so it is garbage. It gets to the point where it's every second someone else is smashing into me, and I can't do anything. So it's why even make this game? This game is pointless.
It's some sort of twisted Katamari Damacy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what the collecting thing is like, and the graphics in this game are amazing. And okay, the first intro, it has Megadeth playing. I am a huge Megadeth.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm a huge Megadeth fan. I mean, not necessarily the recent shit, but Rust in Peace is one of my absolute favorite albums of all time. Anyway, so when I first put it in, I was like, wow, this game looks great, and it's got Megadeth. Why do people give this game bad reviews? Okay, half an hour later, That shit, I wanted to snap in half and never look at that game again. I was like, it's just the biggest piece of shit. I don't know. It sucks. Play it. If you get a chance to, just play it. Just try it.
I'll take that challenge.
You should. I want people to experience this, for themselves firsthand. That it is just, when I say this game is bad, people like to hate on E.T. This game is a fucking 1,000 times worse than E.T.
Wow. What system was that on?
It's on the PS3 and the 360. I played it on the 360.
Are you serious? A game like that came out for the PS3? I thought this would be on like PS1, like PS2.
Oh no. This is within the last like 4 years or whatever.
That makes it infinitely worse.
It's bad. And so Booch, who's been on before, my buddy Summers, they couldn't believe that this game was that bad. And I was telling them, I'm like, look, it's fucking horrible. Just take my word for it. And Summers wanted to play it so bad. He's like, yo, next time you're by a GameStop, here's my gift card that I have. Pick the game up for me so I can play it. I happened to be at GameStop, and I put the game on the counter, and the lady's like, oh, Never Dead, huh? I was like, I'm giving you money right now for garbage. You are giving me trash, and I'm exchanging money to you because my buddy wants to play this game. He's like, and it was like really cheap at that point. It was like $7 or something. And I was like, he is throwing $7 away, and you are getting rid of trash like from your store. So be happy. And of course he played it, and I don't think he got far enough in. Like, I only played for like 45 minutes, but I think he only played for like 10 or whatever. And he was like, yeah, game's not that bad. Yeah, I was like, all right, yeah. You don't know.
Yeah, actually, next time, you know what? I'll go to a GameStop here within the next week, and I'll check it out. You know what? Why not?
Dude, yes, please, and let us know, next week what you thought of it. I'd love to know.
I'm actually making a reminder, like right now. So it's Never Dead, and it's for PS3?
Yep.
All right, I'll definitely look it out. If it's as bad as you say it is, and like you end up being some sort of like twisted Katamari Damacy trying to pick up your own body because you can't die, sure, why not?
Yeah, but that's like a what? Okay, so like that is like 1 second of like the game, So the game is like you're trying to and a lot. Okay, so since you can't die, the game becomes escort missions. So the other girl can die. So anyway. So the girl, like, you're escorting, yes, she can die, you can't. You just, like, fall into pieces. But, like, so this, Katamari Damacy or Katamari in general, is the whole game you're rolling this ball, getting shit together. The only time you do this in the game is when something bashes into you or hits you where your body falls apart.
So it then becomes, like, Katamari versus Resident Evil 4.
But it's not, like, a center part of the game. It's just like you're the only time you're doing this.
Zach's like, I'm trying not to make this sound awesome.
No, I'm not saying it's awesome. I'm saying that you have like this bitch named Ashley that you're trying to roll around and protect while she can die, and it's horrible.
Yeah,
she is like the epicenter of horrible escort missions. Yeah,
but so when this guy dies, it's like it's a chore to go collect the things. It's not fun. And it might only take you like 5 seconds, but it's not fun. And it makes it so you cannot progress through the game. And while you're wasting your time, grabbing your body parts, the girl is getting fucking killed. So, now you have to start the whole level again because she's dead because you can't keep your body together. It is Zero Punctuation did a review. Watch that review.
Oh my God, did they really?
Yes.
I love Zero Punctuation.
Yeah, he's the shit.
Oh, yeah, totally. Wait. Was that the one where the girl wouldn't stay where you wanted her to? Like, she would actually just leave after a while? If you told the escort mission to hide somewhere? Or was that
I don't remember. I don't remember if you could communicate with her.
All right, that might have been another game, because I remembered he did a thing and, like, compared it to Ashley, and she was, you could, like, tell her to hide somewhere in like a trash bin while you went and did something else, and you come back to collect her, and I don't even know what game it is, but you come back to collect her and she's fucking gone, and you're like, what the hell? And then you have to go find her, and she's probably dead.
Yeah, game is garbage. Get ready to play it as soon as you buy it, so you can bring it back to GameStop within 7 days to get your money back.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
Now, did you? Looks like we got like probably about 20 minutes left on the show. Did you guys have anything else that pissed you off you wanted to talk about real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
If not, I was going to do something a little different.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Well, since this is kind of an Excess Gaming podcast kind of thing of my other podcast that I host on, but I want to talk about something a little different. I want to talk about games we've been playing recently. We can just, go around and talk about some games we've been playing, kind of discuss on that. So I'll start with you, Zach. What games have you been playing?
I love internet puzzle games, and there's this game. Okay, you guys probably know it. You're like a sushi guy, and you have to, and people come and sit at the sushi bar, and you have to make it before they get pissed off and leave.
Oh.
So I was at the last day of the Toys R Us clearance where everything was $1, and they had that game, and I was like, I think this is the game, the internet game, and it is. It's the same game. So there's 20 different things you can make for sushi, and the people come and sit down, and what they want will be above their head, and you make it, and then it goes down the conveyor belt, and they take it, and then they eat it, and they pay you when they leave, and you have to make a certain amount of money every day to go on to the next day. So if you're using shrimp, you can run out of shrimp, so you have to anticipate running out, so that way in between making people's orders, you can pick up the phone and call and order more shrimp or whatever you need. And the game gets really, really crazy, and I love the idea of the game to death. It's so good, and it will keep it's just addicting. It's an addicting puzzle type game where you're trying to make everything so you make the most amount of money. You're not pissing off customers, so if you lose 3 times in a row, the entire save gets erased, and you have to start from the beginning again. So there's 50 days. So if you're on day 49 and you lose the last heart, you go back to day 1 and you have to start all over again.
Oh my god.
What's the name of that game?
It's called. Let me look it up. It's called. Sushi Go Round.
Yeah, because I might have to check that out, because I did go to Toys R Us not too long ago, and I got Zombie U and Call of Duty Ghosts for the Wii U for $9 a pop. I was like, why not?
What?
Yeah, when I went there, I was looking for those, and they were all gone. Okay, well, let me say something else about this game, first of all. The controls in this game are not spot on. So that being said, okay, so you put all the ingredients on the mat. Once an ingredient goes on the mat, so say I need 2 shrimp and I put 3 shrimp. Say 3 shrimp makes nothing. I cannot take one of them back. So I have to put it through, and it just makes nothing. There's garbage that's going around the conveyor belt. So that's one issue. You waste ingredients. Another thing, so the controls aren't spot on. When you make the sushi roll, you have to press the mat, and it rolls the sushi up. But sometimes you end up pressing the mat 6 times because it doesn't take that you pressed it. So when this game is getting insanely fast, and you're trying to be spot on and go as fast as possible, you've memorized all the dishes. Your ordering is spot on. Everything's right. These are the little things that are fucking you over. That the clicks aren't always accepted. And so that being said, it makes this game honestly not if they just fixed that, the game would be awesome, in my opinion. It's just, when you're trying to be perfect and have the most perfect round, it's the controls and the interface that's ruining it, not you.
Huh. And what about you, Jamie? What's a game you'd like to mention?
I've actually been playing The Wolf Among Us lately. I finally got it thanks to Ollie, actually. He let me download it. So I've been playing The Wolf Among Us, and I binged the first, 2.5 episodes in 8 hours because I wanted to see my favorite character, Jack Horner. And so I binged the first, 8 hours. And I'm just sitting here playing it, and I'm like, I must reach my favorite character. Other than that, I haven't really been playing anything. I need to continue playing Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, which, wow, that game did kind of suck a little bit. I'm stuck, fighting these 8 to 10 hunters in the city, and I was really stupid, and it gives you a flamethrower, and I'm like, and so I start using the flamethrower on the zombies, right? Well, wrong, because then you run out of ammo against the hunters, and then when you respawn, the flamethrower does not respawn.
Huh.
And so I was, crying and screaming and cussing, and naming everything motherfucker, and it was bad, because I have bad rage with games.
What wasn't that game like a Left 4 Dead type thing in like the Resident Evil universe?
It kind of was, but basically what the game was showing is the Umbrella militia, kind of like they were going through and cleaning up the city, and so you got to pick, whichever one of them you wanted to be. The game itself was a pretty cool concept, seeing Umbrella trying to sweep this under the rug and kind of seeing behind the scenes. What made it so bad was at the end, you meet up with Leon and Claire and little Sherry, and they give you the option to change the story completely and kill Leon.
I love that. I love when games do that. That is awesome.
I liked it.
Awesome.
I liked it, and I like how Leon is pretty much a one-hit kill. Like, I was watching the Rad Brad play it online, and he let one of his NPCs get too close to Leon, and all you hear is crack, and Brad is like, oh, shit!
Yeah, that's very
and
cool.
I'm like, I want to kill Leon, and my boyfriend who loves Leon, who cosplays Leon, he's like, why? And I'm like, because. But
yes,
I need to finish playing that, and I kind of need to finish playing Umbrella Chronicles for the Wii, because I'm stuck on this part. I'm kind of embarrassed about this. It's within, like, the first, 20 minutes, and I'm stuck battling monkeys. And, yes, I know, laugh it up, but I'm stuck battling monkeys, and I get so mad because I start dying, Rebecca starts yelling. That makes me even more just, and I'm like, shut up, Rebecca. Just stop. Which I don't mind Rebecca, but it's the fact that they took Orihime's voice from Bleach, told her to voice act badly, and put her in Rebecca, and I'm like, stop.
Was that game the Unreal Shooter one?
Yes.
Okay, that's one I want to play.
Which, that one, actually, it's really cool. That one and Darkside Chronicles are the rail shooters. They get a lot of shit, but the thing of it is if you go back and listen to Wesker's report, which came out after Code Veronica X, it came out with Code Veronica X, Wesker tells the story of kind of what's been going on lately and kind of sums everything up for you, and nothing fucking makes sense. Nothing goes together. There are loopholes and plot holes everywhere. Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles, people got so mad because they kind of changed the story slightly. But as you're playing through the game, you see how they changed the story to make it make more sense chronologically. And that's why I appreciate Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles. Though they were rail shooters and the controls sucked, the story itself made more sense.
You guys ever played that Lost game for the 360?
No.
That game is shit. The thing with that game had a cool story and everything because I was really into Lost, but that game itself, if you can even call it a game, I guess. That's the only game I've ever got all 1,000 points, achievement points in a 360 game ever. That's the only one I ever done it with because it's so simple.
Wow.
That's crazy. The only game that I can mention that I've been playing, because I've just been really busy this week, is I've been playing Castle of Shinshigami 3 on the Wii.
I just found that at GameStop a couple days ago for $3. I have been looking for it forever, and yes, I can't wait to start playing it. How awesome!
Oh, dude, it is freaking amazing. It's such a great bullet hell, and I'm such a sucker for bullet hells, and it feels so nice playing it with the Wiimote holding it sideways. It feels like I'm playing like a Nintendo bullet hell shooter.
Yeah.
I love it. That's definitely what I've been playing, but yeah, I've been so busy. I got tons of games right now because I went out last weekend when I wasn't on the show. I was out of town. I was playing a show and I had to go to a wedding anniversary. So while I was out of town, we went to some stores and I picked up Castle of Shinshigami 3. I picked up Pac-Man Pinball on the Game Boy Advance, and I haven't played that yet, but I've been really wanting to play that. Yeah.
That is awesome.
And it was like $3. I'm like, why not? But I got that, and of course I finally got a GameCube copy of Ikaruga.
Oh my God! When you were talking about Shikigami, I was going to ask you if you've ever played that game.
Oh yeah, I have it on the Dreamcast. Insane. I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, that game's insane.
I've never heard of these games.
Dude, go to YouTube and look up like Pro Ikaruga. It is so pretty much in that game, your ship can be flipped upside down. So one side is white and one side is black, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like it's like a bullet hell game, but some of the bullets are white and some are black. So if you are black when the bullets are black, you'll absorb them instead of being killed. If you're white when the bullets are white, you'll absorb them instead of being killed. And if you go watch like a pro playing that game, it will blow your mind, like how they're flipping over and absorbing all these bullets and everything. It's crazy.
It's funny because a lot of people, when they think of bullet hells, they think of this mindless shooters with beautiful eye candy, but that game has so much strategy to it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And yeah, I have it on the Dreamcast, and I actually did play it the other day on the GameCube. Same version, but love it. Love that game.
Oh, it's so good.
That sounds really cool. I'll actually, I make a lot of clay charms during the week and try to sell them online, and I watch YouTube playthroughs and stuff like that when I actually make them, and I'll definitely look that up this week.
You know, I was going to mention that. I was actually going to mention in the beginning of our episode about your little clay things. If you can make me a clay Opa Opa, that would be freaking awesome.
A clay Opa Opa?
Yeah, from Fantasy Zone.
Okay, I will definitely
the little ship. That would be awesome. Because I love little stuff like that. Like I was mentioning a couple of episodes ago, and I think you were on this episode when I was talking about going to conventions. How I don't buy any of the games or movies or anything like that unless it's something I really want, because most of it's overpriced. I always go to the crafts.
Oh, yeah, like the Artist Alley and shit?
Yeah. I'm actually taking down posters in my game room and just putting them up in my closet because I want to replace them with actual paintings. Like I've been on this big kick about getting video game paintings. Like I have one of Okami, I have another one of Earthworm Jim.
Did you see the Okami necklace I made?
Yeah, I loved it.
Where can I see this?
Yeah, we can go ahead and get into plugs because we're like 10 minutes before the show. So let's go ahead and start with you, Jamie. Let's hear you plug away.
All right. Well, as usual, you can find me on YouTube, Shimeji, SHIMEGEE. The spelling may actually change if YouTube lets me. I'm wanting to change it to the actual spelling of that word, which is SHIMIJI, because if you actually search on YouTube, it corrects you to that. And I'm like, oh no, that's no good. No one can find me now. Or you can find me by at Shimeji Crafts on Facebook, which is SHIMEGEE Crafts, or Hazardous Cosplay, HAZRD-US Cosplay on Facebook. That's our cosplay page. We're getting ready to go to Anime Weekend Atlanta in September. I will be pulling off Bloody Mary's true form from the last episode of Wolf Among Us. And I'm not sure who my boyfriend's going to be yet. He's doing Leon. He just informed me he's doing Leon. I was not aware of that. He's going to try and do Pirate Leon from Mercenaries. And you can find me on Twitter at GVirusJunkie. I usually post a lot of ranting about video games and just general bullshittery. So yeah, you can find me there. And I am open for commissions on my clay art. And I also have an Etsy, which is Shimeji Crafts as well. So check me out and buy my shit.
Awesome. And what about you, Zach?
One thing about that plug, once you change your YouTube name, I don't think you can ever change it again. It's like a one-time thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess if you really want to change, you'd have to create a whole new channel and then just transfer your videos.
Never mind.
Anyway, you can find me at youtube.com/gettingyournerdon. I just put up a video where I just a normal $20 challenge where I take $20 and I see how far I can stretch it throughout the week to buy as many cool video games as possible. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook. You can find me there, Getting Your Nerd On, and yeah, check us out. And
I said, don't forget your band.
Oh yeah, Bandcamp.com. Bandcamp.com. Yeah. What is it?
Killtech9.
Yeah, Bandcamp.com/Killtech9. KILLTAC-9, and you'll find it.
Well, a little bit of my plugs. I also host a YouTube channel. It's this Xander Skullion on YouTube, but I also host another audio podcast called Excess Gaming Podcast, and we're about to approach episode 50 very soon. Our next episode is going to be all about Ninja Turtles, because I did see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I'm going to be talking about that. I will go ahead and say I liked it, but I'm going to go in more detail about it on the podcast. I've been very tight-lipped about it, but you can check me out on there, and also all my content's on retroandlimb.com and also on Nerd Genius, provided by the great Michael Burhan. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you guys can find me on Facebook, Xander Skullion. You can also add the Excess Game Podcast group page on Facebook. And my last episode was actually memories of working in a video game store. So if you guys want to hear some of my stories when I used to work at Babbage's, now known as GameStop, check that video out, and it's been getting some pretty good reviews. I'm actually probably going to make a part 2 because I have a lot more stories. So I worked there for like 4 years. So.
Oh wow.
So I mean, I got some really interesting things. The last episode I talked about was when I was almost robbed for a PS3. So.
Oh God.
But yeah, my laptop's about to die. Oh shit. This is live television, people. But anyway, guys, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen to I Got Gameplay. Thank you, thank you guys for being on the show with us, and because I thought I was going to do this by myself. I did not know what exactly was going on with this episode because I was gone for a week, and Burhan was like, "Hey, can you host the episode?" And that was like an hour before we went on air. So. I want to thank everyone who took the time to listen. I want to thank you guys for helping me with co-hosting the episode. And as always, guys, I got gameplay. Have you? And happy gaming.